hopefully this works. I don't even know anymore because my internet has been so spotty. Like, just getting onto the internet has been a challenge, to say the least. Especially after going to the workforce center in Alamosa the other day, and she gave me a list of jobs and said, oh, go to this website and you'll be able to see more jobs. But I can't because my internet has been hot garbage. I think it's because it's been so cold out here. It was on my way back to the house today at 6 o'clock. It went from 27 degrees at 5 o'clock to 16 degrees at 6 o'clock. So it's a little cold out here. So I wanted to pop on here and just kind of do a little chatteroo right fast. Because I am trying to be okay, trying hard to be okay. So for those of you playing along at home, my dad has been in remission from stage 4 cancer for a few months now. He had malignant melanoma, which is the worst form of skin cancer you can have. And it moved a couple years ago, when he was first diagnosed. It moved from his skin into his lymph nodes, and he had to have a branch of lymph nodes removed. It was moving into his brain. There were spots found in his lungs, in his eyes. It got bad. It got really bad, which is how it became stage 4. And he's on a very, very specific chemo pill, which is great because he is one of the few people in the world who has his type of cancer that can take this kind of chemo because of a specific genetic kajigger, I don't know, stuff. And so he's been taking this specific chemo for a really long time and it's been working fine. But over this week, he's been in the hospital 3 times. Last weekend, he had to go to the hospital by ambulance. He was throwing up his chemo pills and he was just like really sick. He was super cold, couldn't get warm. He was like sitting in front of 2 heaters and could not get warm and like covered in blankets, and he was still shivering. It was very strange. And he went to the hospital last night and they ruled out like pneumonia. They ruled out, any kind of virus. He had a virus last week. They pumped him full of a bunch of antibiotics, sent him home. And then today he went back. And I was at my doctor this afternoon, to have a follow-up because I keep getting this, like, I don't know if y'all can see it because my heater in front of me is orange, but there's like these bumps, this like rash that I have. I don't know. So I went to my doctor to find out what that was. She thinks I have a different food allergy and it's just breaking me out real bad. But she wanted to send me for blood work to do a full panel, and be officially tested for celiac and do a full food allergy blood panel test. And so they're at the clinic, their labs was already closed because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And so she sent me over to the hospital. And so I waddled my way over to the ER and popped in. Hi, Dad. How's it going? He was trying to sleep and he was like he was breathing really heavy, and it made me very sad because the way that he was breathing was very similar to how Ishka was breathing before she died. And so I got really nervous and I was like, are you sure it's not pneumonia? I'm so scared of pneumonia now because that's what killed Ishka. And Mom said no, they ruled that out last night. They did a CT scan and he got really sick from that because of the contrast. And then she brought him home and I was like, that's buffoonery, unless they're sitting there saying like, take him home to die. Like, that's ridiculous. And so I asked her about it and she said no, they sent him home and said basically he saw his oncologist in the hospital. His oncologist wants him to stop taking his chemo over the weekend, which I'm like, that seems counterintuitive. But they want to try a different chemo next week. But basically what they found on the CT scan was that there was another spot in his lungs, just to jump to the point. So that's concerning, because you have somebody who's been in remission for so long, the chemo's working just fine, and he, you know, had like a bad day, and then he flipped and had like a good day the next day, and then flipped and had another bad day. And it's really hard to see it all happening, because for the last couple years while he's been going through all this, I've not been here. Like, I've been in Florida, I've been in Texarkana, I've been in North Carolina, I've been even up in Denver. But to sit here and see it and watch it happen, it's a lot. It's a lot. And honestly, like, it irritates my soul, because it's like you have somebody who's literally sitting there dying from cancer, and you can't do anything about it. Like, there's literally nothing that can be done. And to know that his form of skin cancer is genetic because of the specific mutation in his DNA freaks me out. I mean, I don't go outside anyways, to be totally honest. If this light was not like showing orange on me right now, y'all have seen me in other lights, I'm translucent. Like, I'm clear AF. My dad is the color of cooked bacon, so we don't look related at all. But also, like, it kind of makes me wonder, is it because he was working construction for so long? Is it because of working lawn maintenance for 10 years and just like being out in the sun? But also, like, how did it start on his back? How did it get on, like, he had spots like up here on his temple, but he always wore a hat. So it makes me wonder, like, how the sun goes through clothing now, I guess. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that part in school. I really didn't. I should have. I definitely should have paid more attention to the cancer parts of esthetician school, but I honestly just sat there and cried because of my dad, and just sitting there thinking, like, I will just take the F in this class, because I absolutely cannot sit here and listen to the ways that my dad is going to die. It just freaked me out so bad. So it's been difficult. Today has not been a good day. I had my Voc Rehab appointment. They seem nice. And it was really just an intake. You go in and you sign a bunch of forms. And then next week I have, after therapy, the lady from Voc Rehab is going to meet me at my therapist's office, so I don't have to worry about like transportation and diddly doos. And then they're going to do a work profile, basically. They're going to get like my work history, and then they're going to get like my interests. They're going to help me get records from higher education for my GED, my associate's degree, my chemical derm and micropeel certifications, and my aesthetics license through the Department of Regulatory Agencies in Colorado. So, whew, I don't have to worry about that. I kind of explained to her what had happened, that Cheryl had threw everything away, and so I don't have any of my diplomas, I have diddly squat. And she said that they can help me get copies, which is dope, because I don't have a printer, and even if I did, my internet's garbage like 98% of the time. I saw a comment pop up that said, how did Daniel end up in the Friends You May Know on Facebook? I have no idea. I know that sometimes, like, I've seen people in the Friends You May Know that have mutual friends, and I've seen people in the Friends You May Know that don't have mutual friends. So I don't know how, like, what their algorithm is or how all that works. I have no idea, but he is blocked, so I'm not worried about it. I talked to my therapist about that last week, and she said I was not, like, crazy to sit there and just immediately block him, so he has no way of contacting me or anything. If he wanted to contact me, I'm sure he could figure out a way, but I think he had my email address at one point, for my old account on my old phone, but I don't even turn on my old phone anymore, so I'm really not worried about that. That's, like, the least of my concerns right now. I saw a couple of comments from previous videos. One said that I was lame. They said you're lame, but they said you're as in, like, you're lame platypus, you're lame dingle hopper, like, you're lame blip. And it's like, I'm lame, but I know grammar. I know the English language, and I know that that's not correct. And I was just like, I thought it was funny. Sensible chuckle. So yes, I also saw questions about the headbands. I will get to that after this brief message. I'm really dehydrated. Drinking tea doesn't help. But it makes me feel like it does because you use water to make tea. That's how my logic works. Also, my dad, ironically, told me, because he keeps smoking. Like, he smokes cigarettes. Both my parents have smoked my whole life. And he told me at one point he can't get lung cancer because he takes chemo every day. So the dark humor in all of this is that he now has a spot on his lungs, even though he's been taking chemo every day. And I'm just like, well, well, well. Look at here. Okay, so about the headbands. Full disclosure, I have not sewn any of these headbands. They are all sitting here in like brick form. This one is red, but the light makes it look like it's hot Barbie pink. So basically what it is when you get to the end, there's like this little baby gap right in this little diddly-do. So you gotta sew that up and then wrap it around and sew it and whatnot so that it makes that little like bow shape, right? This kajigger. Well, the thing is, I'm literally just piling them up. I have one roll of yarn left, one ball. It was one originally, one big one, but it broke while I was rolling it. So it turned into two, which is actually this one here. It's like a, let's see. Right, I don't understand that either. People sit here and try to like talk down to me. Meanwhile, I was pulled out of school in 3rd grade. 3rd grade at 9 years old, and I have a better grasp on the English language than people with actual high school diplomas. Like, how? I question the American education system because that is a fact. Like, I was legitimately, okay, I went to Markham Park Elementary in Markham, Illinois for 1st and 2nd grade, and then in 3rd grade, after a couple of months, my mom pulled us out because it's Chicago. The school system is very scary. And so my mom decided to homeschool us. I was 9. I had no education. Like, my mom, God bless her, she tried. Didn't work out. The homeschooling kajiggers didn't work out. So for 10 years, until I went into GED school and took my tape test at 19, for a solid decade, I had no education. I went to church and I watched Sailor Moon on Toonami. That was my existence. Like, that's it. And I took really big mixing bowls and filled them with different kinds of chips and different kinds of cereal. Not together, that's weird, but like different times of the day, I'd have like all the cereals in a bowl and I would eat that, and then all the chips in the bowl and I would eat that, and that's how I was like 200 pounds at 18. But anywho, people who went their full like 12-year education in public school try to talk down to me, and they just, it's like a toddler is writing it for them, and it's just, it blows my mind. It really does. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, my education's better than yours. But my lack of education is better than the people who try to talk down to me. Like, anywho. So last roll I have is one of these. It is a multicolored yarn, which you can't tell. It's like a pastel, green, orange, pink, and white mixed together. So there's that. I actually have it in my bag just to give you guys like a little idea of, I have this left. This is 4, maybe 5 headbands out of this. This is all the yarn I have left, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself once this is gone, but actually I do. I'm going to sew all my headbands. Like, what? That's the plan, is I'm going to make them all, and then I'm going to sew them up, and then take pictures, and then post them I want to check and see if Facebook still has that feature where you can buy things directly from Facebook and it goes through PayPal. That way it's not like a big complicated thing. Otherwise, I would probably just have to do it through PayPal. So there's that. They are going to be $10 each. Just because minimum wage in Colorado is $10.20 an hour, and it takes me about an hour to make a headband. So that is my reasoning for that. Also, I find that most of the time when people hand make things, one of two things will happen. Either they will really, really undersell themselves, or they will mark up their prices unreasonably, right? And so for me, I've been kind of in the area of underselling myself, where I would make something like a pair of baby booties that you could get on Etsy for like $25, and I'm sitting here like, I don't know, $5. Like, all right. But after having my stuff in Moondance a few years ago, I talked to the owner, Tanya, and she said, you have to stop underselling yourself. Go by at the very least, what minimum wage is for the state where you work. So for me in Colorado, it's $10.20 an hour is minimum wage. And since it takes me an hour to make a headband, there you go. Anything higher than that, I would just feel like crap, because that's, yeah. So the headbands are going to be for sale probably, okay, maybe by Monday. I was hoping Saturday because Small Business Saturday, but probably Monday for Cyber Monday. I don't know. I'm not really interested in keeping up with all that. They're going to be up some point. I'll let y'all know. And then each headband is going to have a handwritten note with it. That way it's more of like a personal thing. At some point I want to get little tags, because you can get little tags for them. Like the little, like, I've seen some in like Michael's that say like stitched with love, you know, like cute little things like that, so I can like sew them to the inside. I thought that would be cute, but also tags are kind of annoying, so I don't know, leave your thoughts. So there's that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Also, I couldn't stand how grown out my nails were, so I painted over them, but you can still see like the line where the gels were, because I can't get the gels off. So I just painted over the gels and under the gels. It's pink underneath. And then I did black and then like a shattered kind of blue on top. So it's like a midnight blue, which I think is super dope. It looks kind of like green on the thing because colors or something. I don't know. But anywho, that is it. I am gonna go watch some more documentaries and crochet some stuff, because that's literally all I've been doing for the last like couple of weeks, is sitting here and crocheting and watching documentaries. I found one on Hulu. It was a CNN documentary. It was called 9/11 15 years later, and I thought it was just going to be like survivor stories and like stuff like that. It was not at all what I anticipated. Spoiler alert, it is probably one of the best 9/11 documentaries I've ever seen in my life, because it doesn't just have like found footage. There was these two French brothers that were doing a documentary about what it's like to be a fireman in New York, and kind of go through like your probationary period and kind of get started and all of that. And so they started in like June of 2001, and they were still filming in September. And so when 9/11 happened, they were right there for it. It's like firsthand accounts, like they were in the lobby of the towers, and it was incredible to see this footage. It was so amazing, and it was just like, it was heartbreaking to watch this, because some of the stuff was pretty graphic. So if you are sensitive to things like that, or if you have a weak stomach, I would not suggest it. But normally I sit and I crochet and I watch things, and it's kind of like background noise, which I'm sure most of my videos are for the rest of you. But it was one of those things where like once I realized kind of what this was gonna be, it just totally had my attention. It was amazing, and it was like hands down one of, if not the best documentary I've seen on 9/11, and it was outstanding. It gave me goose skins, and I was enthralled with this. Like, it had my attention for the full time it was on, which is rare because near to nothing holds my attention. But yeah, I've been trying to find other documentaries that are just as good as that one, and I've really not. I thought I was going to be biased too because it was CNN, and usually things that are related to like news channels are lenient in one direction or the other, and it's not to say that it's necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it can be a little too biased. This one did not feel biased at all. It really felt like they were just trying to tell the story of their existence on this day, in this place. It was great. It was super great. So anywho, that is all. It's weird to have these less than an hour long streams, isn't it, friends? But yeah, I'm gonna go. I really don't have anything else to talk about right now. I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat food. That's kind of the conundrum I've been going through with my stomach recently, is I want to eat things, but things don't want to be inside my stomach for more than like 2 minutes, and it's not a good time to be me. It's not. It's really not. So yeah, I don't know. Is that it? I feel like that's it. Do I have any? I'm looking around for like context clues. Like, is there anything else I was gonna say? Nah, we good. So anywho, I kind of feel like I'm getting back to myself a little bit. Depression is still a struggle, but we're keeping the prestige where it's at for right now. And then I have another appointment, December 20th for another Medival, because it's one of those things where it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to build in your system. But if it turns out that's the thing that's making my skin break out, I'm gonna be real mad because I finally find something that doesn't give me all the side effects. And it's up my skin. Because of course it would. Okay. I'm gonna go for real. I need to find a snack. I've got bagel chips. Glutino bagel chips. I don't want to eat them though, because they're hard to chew. They're very dry. It's very sad. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good Thanksgiving if that's a thing you celebrate. It's not a thing that I celebrate, but if it's your jam, eat some turkey. That would have been cute if it was Christmas, so I could have said, if it's your jam, eat some ham. But just kidding. Unless it is your jam to eat ham on Thanksgiving. I don't know. We've always had turkey, except one time we had lasagna and my mom was really mad. I am going to see if I can watch the Macy's parade in the morning, because that's something that I've always done. And then I've always looked forward to seeing Elmo on the float, but I don't know if I can live stream that. So anywho, I will see you guys later. Have a good holiday. Stay safe. If you are one of the millions that decides that consumerism is the reason that you exist on the day after Thanksgiving, I don't participate in that buffoonery, and I never will. It's not for me. I don't want to be trampled for a toaster. Also, I think it's ironic to have a day of thanks and then a day of consumerism. I don't get it. I never have. That's my stay indoors day. But I have to go to town because there is a wireless company that actually has a Medicaid phone. So I'm gonna go up there on Friday because my mom has to fill a couple of scripts for my dad, and see if I can get that, because having a phone, especially if I'm having a crisis, would be just tops. Also, my doctors keep asking me for an updated phone number, and I'm like, LOL, I don't have one. Pray for us, because we will be in Walmart on Black Friday. Send out celestial offerings, good vibes, whatever your jam may be. But definitely I will have to let y'all know on like Twitter or Snapchat or something, let you know if I'm still breathing after Friday, because Walmart is the biggest store in Alamosa, and I feel like I'm not going to be safe going into that store, but also I know that my mom is most likely to throw down with somebody in a Walmart. So, stay tuned, and I will let you guys know how that one goes, and, yeah, I'll let you guys know when the headbands are posted and whatnot. I still have to set up a PayPal. Okay. I'm gonna go. I always say I'm gonna go and then I don't, but I'm gonna go. Bye.